Hello guys, in this video I will show you how to do backups very easily, very secure. That's how I do them regularly and how I recommend you this method to every one of you. So I would say let's start. For that I am using the technology Borg, and the technology Borg has some special features like incremental backups. So it is only storing what has changed if you do more backups, for example monthly. Also it's compressing the backups, so it is using fewer space. And you can also encrypt your backups if you want, and that's great. So I would say let's start with this video. At first, for our backups, I highly recommend you an external hard drive which you plug into your computer. Then you do your backups, then you plug out your hard drive, store it in some other room, that if your room is on fire or something like that, then your data is also secure. This is my idea about that. So I would say let's start. At first we have, of course, to plug in a hard drive. I personally recommend you, for example, a 2 TB hard drive. It is enough space for most of you, and it's about 50 to 60 euros or dollars, and you can use it the next 10 years, I guess. So I would say let's start. I would highly recommend you to prepare your hard disk to a Linux partitioning. Then your backups are stored much more efficiently. For that, I'm opening up the program disks. It is called GNOME disks, but you can also partition your hard drive like you want it. I showed you with disks. In this case, this is a sample disk, and at first I highly recommend you to format the complete thing to get rid of anything pre-installed on this hard drive. It's important that all data is lost after this. So I open up the 3 dots up here and select Format Disk. Then I select the GPT partitioning. It's completely okay for us. I select Format and also select Format and Authenticate Me. And after that, we have a complete hard drive with free space. Now we need to create a partition on this free space. So I click the plus icon here and select the whole size. So I just select next, and then I can type in a volume name, for example, backup. And after that, I can also do a type, for example, X4, I would highly recommend you. So this is only in usage for Linux systems, but Borg is working the best way on X4 file systems. So this is my absolute recommendation, and I select create here, and after some time we have our backup disk formatted and we are ready to go with Pika Backup, it is called. You can install it via the FlatHub or Flatpak, so you can find it in the software manager of Linux Mint, Manjaro, Fedora and the others. On Ubuntu you have to install Flatpak first. I put you a link to an instruction about that, and then you can install Pika Backup. I already installed Pika Backup, so let's start it. And now we have to select the only button it is presenting us, Setup Backup. Let's start. Now we can create a new repository or use an existing repository. In this case, Pika Backup doesn't recognize my hard drive. It is because it isn't mounted at the time. So if you want, select the file manager and select your backup device here, which we created some seconds ago, and then it is finding our backup hard disk. I select this one and we can leave this one on the default settings. I highly recommend you to do unencrypted backups, because if I have to rely on a backup, I don't want to authenticate me via a password and decrypt this. So I highly recommend you to unencrypt it. If you want to encrypt your backup, just go for it. I'm doing this with unencrypted. So I select create. Then we have our complete settings. This backup method is very, very easy. At first we have to choose which files to backup. By default, it is your home directory. It is by default completely enough. If you have other partitions, just select them here with plus, but regularly you don't have to select anything here. In the exclude from backup settings, I highly recommend you to select here the plus, and I personally recommend you to exclude the trash, exclude your Flatpak app installations, and also exclude your virtual machines and containers. Because if you lose them, it isn't quite important on my use cases. Maybe you have another opinion about that. So that was it. Maybe I also click on exclude folder and select my downloads folder here. I don't want to save and back up my downloads folder. I press select and then this one is okay. Now everything is set to do our first backup. This is very easy. You only have to press this button, backup now. I click this and now the backup is doing its thing. The time depends on how big your data is you wanna back up. In this case, it's only a test system. These are only just some megabytes. So this backup is running very, very quickly. It is already finished. We see here a check mark and yeah, everything has gone fine. So that's great. And now you could plug out your backup disk, store it somewhere, and after a month, just plug it in back, open Pika Backup, and the only thing you have to do is to click backup now, and that's everything you have to do. That's very, very easy, but a backup isn't a backup if you didn't check it out and proved it that all data you wanna back up is really backed up. So I click on archives and here we see all our backup points, and in this case I only have one because I have a new backup configuration here, but I click on the archive with a date of my choice and then I can click on browse saved files. This could take a second or some seconds until this one pops up, and after that I can go to view and select a extra pane, and on the left side I click on my home folder. Then we have on our left side our current home folder and on the right side our backed up home folder. Then you can check out your files if these were backed up, and if you want you can also, for example, copy some files from your backup destination to your real destination. And then, yeah, we see, okay, our backup is working quite good. It has a very weird path in front of it. Just don't mind it. It's completely okay in this case. And yeah, this looks quite fine. So in the end, I can close my file manager and then I'm hitting this stop browsing archive files button. This is quite important, so don't forget this, please. And I just click it and then all archives are U-mounted or unmounted, and then we can plug out our external hard drive and store it somewhere. So yeah, that was it for today. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to get more useful tips about Linux and open source. What is your favorite backup strategy? Write into the comments and see you next time. Bye.